This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, October 9th, and I am here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay. I am Sam. Tori has the day off in observance of Yom Kippur. For all of our viewers observing as well, we wish you a good, holy day. So let's get right to it, shall we? Well, there are shocking new allegations about former Today Show host Matt Lauer. A new book reportedly contains allegations by a former female colleague that Lauer raped her at the 2014 Sochi Olympics. Lauer is denying it, saying it is categorically false, ignores the facts, and defies common sense. Meantime, his former Today Show co-hosts are reacting to the news. Let's watch.
It's just very painful for all of us at NBC and who are at the Today Show. And, you know, it's very, very, very difficult.
It's like you feel like you've known someone for 12 years, and I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that. You know someone, you know them, you feel like you know them inside and out, and then all of a sudden, like, a door opens up, and it's a part of them you didn't know.
You know, I think I speak for all of us. We're disturbed to our core.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, NBC says Matt Lauer's conduct was appalling, horrific, and reprehensible. That's why he was fired within 24 hours of us first learning of the complaint. So I think it's really important for us to note here that even though we're now just hearing about this in this book, this is the same woman that came forward a couple years ago. She wanted to be anonymous at the time. This is the same woman that did go to HR with a lawyer, did tell many of her colleagues, even one of her bosses, when she moved to a different production company underneath that NBC umbrella. So it's not coming out of nowhere. There is a track record here, and I think that's important to state. But what are you thinking here, Lindsay?
I'm thinking that these are allegations of not an affair, but a crime. So this changes everything for me. I'm wondering why this woman is not taking the next step and going to the police. I know that the rape that she accused him of happened in another country, so I don't know what the protocol is there.
They did say, according to her lawyer, when they did meet with the head of Human Resources, they did say that that would cause some complications because it was out of the country. But then her response to that was that she was also fearful of losing her job because of his power. But go ahead.
Right, and they said they're not positive right now what her current employment situation is. I know she went on to work for Brian Williams for a bit, so I don't know now what's stopping her. I don't know if we passed the timeline where you can actually do it, but it seems like this woman's life was dramatically changed. And, you know, it's like Hoda said, knowing somebody and then realizing you don't know them at all. These are crimes, so we need to treat it that way.
Yeah, and it seems to be triggering, triggering for everyone involved because it's kind of reopening a scab. You saw Savannah kind of break down if you saw the entire interview but broadcast, but Hoda kind of indicated how she was having flashbacks from that day in 2017 where they had to alert viewers that they were firing Matt Lauer. And now NBC News is having to come out with another statement 2 years later. So it's something that's triggering to everyone. But at the same time, I feel as though the people, the audience, the viewers need to hear this side of the story and hear this woman's name.
Well, he's denying it, considering he's saying that they have had many relations together. She agreed to that, too. She did say that they continued to have sexual relations. She said that very first time she consecutively over and over again told him no. She also had 6 shots of vodka, according to her, so she wasn't even the right mind to authorize consent. And then the other time she felt like that she had to do it or else she'd lose her job.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough situation because I think the fact that they did continue to have a relationship after this does muddy the water, muddy the waters a little bit. And we have to be honest about this. Lindsay, you hit it right on the head when you said we're talking about a crime at this point, and that's why it's very serious. But I do think that we have to give, because I did read what Matt Lauer said as well, and he said, I try to be quiet. I tried to walk away out of respect for my kids, out of respect for everything. I was embarrassed. And he said the accusations are still continuing to come. So he's starting to defend himself vigorously, and we have to provide room for that. No matter how reprehensible the crimes are, even if it's a mass murder, we have to. That's what makes this country special. We have to give people their ability to speak and defend themselves. So I'm waiting to hear what he's going to say and what's going to happen.
All right, well said. Well, a fight broke out at Denver, right here in our backyard, Denver International Airport, between airline workers. And the video has been leaked online, of course. Now, a warning to our viewers, the video is graphic. It shows the male pilot who appears to spit on his female coworker. She then slaps him before he punches her in the stomach and face. The two had been reportedly dating but had split up. The 2 employees lost their jobs and were arrested and charged with assault and disturbing the peace. How abhorrent and horrific. And to think if they were going to do this, Lindsay, in public, can you imagine what went on behind closed doors?
Well, police were saying that she went through his phone and it was something in there that started the whole fight. But this is why I'm anti-workplace romance. And I know that plenty of love relationships have come out of that.
This is an extreme case.
I love you guys.
This is exactly why I'm like anti-workplace romance. So like,
Lindsay, most people meet at work, especially before dating apps.
Got married
before dating apps, I bet you most people that you know met in some kind of work situation.
And you can see that because you spend so much time with each other. Remember
something in common?
The movie with Denzel, Flight. Remember, he was having a romantic relationship with one of his stewardesses.
Well, yeah, you're with each other all the time.
All the time. So, but
not according to the Grinch Lindsay over here. No love ever because 2 people got in an argument.
1 in 6 workplace relationships involve some sort of affair. So
Yikes.
someone stepping out on their wife or their husband, and they're hooking up on planes and hotel rooms, that sort of thing. So you can see why these things turn ugly.
How they become volatile.
Yeah.
Because it's not kosher.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, well, more shocking video from dailymail.com. Check this out. A plane crashed into a ski lift cable in the Italian Alps. Look at that. It was upside down, trapping someone inside the cockpit. The passenger was able to get out and was stuck on the wing of the plane as rescuers tried to inch toward him. Miraculously, both the pilot and passenger escaped without being injured. I don't think I would have believed this story if it was like a film plot. But to see that it's legit and real, and that they were dangling from a cable, and then he was chilling on the wing waiting to get rescued, that to me seems like that's divine
looking at him on that wing,
That's insane.
It made me like reaffirm what Lindsay said about being able to meditate in the mornings, because that is the most calm man on the side of a wing. I don't know where he went in his mind.
Yes.
No screaming, no yelling. He's just a man, kind of just taking it all
lucky
in.
to be alive.
The other guy at 61 got ejected from the plane, hit the ground, and he's still alive. So that's one of those things. That's God.
That's divine intervention.
Yeah,
I fully believe
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying God put the ski line there?
Yeah, because they said if he would have crashed into the ground, then they would have had bigger problems than that.
I think he orchestrated it for sure. What, Al?
I'm not going against God. That was an interesting move that he pulled. How about helping them land safely? Is that not on his agenda?
Maybe he thought that somehow they'll learn something from this, and we all will too.
That's a big lesson.
Don't crash into ski lines. Thank you, guys.
All right. One of Felicity Huffman's old co-stars is putting her on blast for her light prison sentencing in the college admission scandal. Ricardo Chavira played Eva Longoria's husband on Desperate Housewives. He tweeted, "White privilege, and I saw 8 years worth of it, so I know what I'm talking about. Accountability and responsibility don't mean bleep to these people." Ooh, because these are some fighting words. I definitely think he must have seen some things on set, according to him, that felt like that she typically benefits from her white privilege, which completely could be true. And many people feel the same way when it comes to her prison sentence.
Yeah, 14 days is pretty short for even though she owned up to it, people have done less and got more.
That's a short vacation in Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, we could have done another week.
And he went into detail about some of the cultural bias that hurt him on set and helped her. So, being a man of color, he can just say that, and that's his experience. Even if she disagrees, it's interesting that there's more to this story.
I bet she would agree with him, though, just considering how she seems very self-aware of her privilege, how she's taken ownership from day one. I bet that she would be.
She took ownership after she got caught. I'm tired of talking about her like she's Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
She got caught.
I don't think she's Joan of Arc.
She got everybody's like, I'm really proud of her. She owned it.
Okay,
she
compared
got caught
to Lori Loughlin.
red-handed and had to own up to it or face what her girl's gonna do, which is some Shawshank time.
Okay,
so she didn't really.
I like that
she didn't really impress me by getting caught.
Al Jackson. That was my pen.
Those are pro
football player. Al Jackson. She could have easily, believe me, I do not give any credit to Felicity Huffman. However, she could have easily hired a team of lawyers, like a lot of rich people do, Lori Loughlin, and somehow gambled to get away with it. But she didn't, and I'm going to give her credit for that.
But if you're only going to get 14 days, why gamble? Why gamble for 3 months or gamble for up to a year or that sort of thing? Like, she knew that's part of that privilege we're talking about, where she knew, like, I have the lawyers, I have the money.
I'm not saying she doesn't have privilege.
Right. No, I'm agreeing with both of you, but she kind of, Sam, I just caught your attack on Sam. I just caused you an HR meeting. I just saved you. I said you just attacked him with a pen just now.
I didn't mean to. It was an action.
She said,
in a fit of anger.
No, but 8 years working with someone. I mean, I've been with you guys for a year. Lindsay, it's been about 2 weeks now. but for a year, we kind of know each other's reactions. We kind of know what goes on in each other's lives. So I kind of agree with him because of the fact that he's seen reactions to certain things.
And I agree with her.
And I know we got to move, but I'm just saying, take the white privilege out of it, and just think about like how you are at your job. If somebody's getting special treatment over the course of 8 years, that's going to make you crazy.
Yes.
So I think this
he has every right. He has every right.
Al doesn't have to come in on time from time to time.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
air that out.
Yep.
Let's air that
That was
out.
petty.
That's true. We got one more story. You're never going to believe what happened to a woman in Oklahoma. She was accidentally shot by a puppy, the 7-month-old yellow Labrador that you see here. Her name is Molly. Here is the 911 call.
Who shot her?
Well, it just went off. I had a dog in it.
Where's my dog? Okay, hold on.
We had a dog in here and he stepped on the gun.
Wow, body cam footage shows police responding. Molly apparently got spooked by a passing train, jumped on the console where there was a gun. It went off. Thankfully, the woman is going to be okay. Who keeps a gun on their console?
Who's buying this story?
Insane. Well, you don't buy it? Really?
Give us the theory, Al. Give us the theory.
I don't know. Is that crazy?
Had workplace romance, went bad, the dude played the same.
I don't know. I just don't buy the whole, my dog shot me. I don't buy the dog ate my homework, much less shot me. So I don't know.
The gun was supposedly under the console. The dog jumped on it. Passing trains are really loud. Boom, shot her in the thigh.
Man,
But that means it had to have been like locked and loaded, right?
Yeah, she said usually she doesn't keep it loaded, but this one time was.
She kept her gun loaded, pointed towards her with the safety off.
I think Al's right.
Can we go to that body cam footage? I might be seeing something wrong.
Okay.
Let's go. Why are they blocking out the dog?
What do you mean?
Look.
Because he's the suspect. They want to talk because he's the suspect.
Oh my God,
I guess so.
Protect his identity.
Allegedly.
Now, the good news here, and why we're making light of this, everyone's okay. The dog's okay. She's okay. They're not blocking out the dog.
that's
They're
the
blocking.
woman, that's
Maybe
the
I think,
woman.
I think
the coworker.
I think her shorts were a little short.
Okay.
Maybe that's why. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It just looks like they were blurring that area.
That only adds to Al's theory.
I know.
It's too graphic to show. I told you.
Yeah.
Too graphic to show. But everyone's okay, and I think your theory. I'm on to you.
All right.
I think you're right.
Hey, I'm not buying it.
What do you think happened, though?
I don't know. I think it was some kind of the elaborate plot to get some insurance money. Maybe she had a little bit of, like a little I shot myself in the leg insurance, little $600 kick in, something. Not a big one.
All right. Blames it on the dog.
Blame
Got
it on the dog.
Poor Molly. DBL's live coming up. 8 Heart Threads. You gotta stick around for discover how a simple high five led to an unbreakable friendship between a child and a school resource officer. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Megan McCain says conservative guys make better husbands. Does she have a point, or is she talking nonsense? Your comments are next.
This dog shooting its owner in the leg. Is that possible? Al thinks this is a huge scheme.
Oh, yeah, let me get that.
This is a huge, but I think that it could possibly happen if the gun's loaded. Just like, you know how things like that plane that we just showed in those cables, that happens by accident, like a freak accident. A gun going off randomly hitting you in the thigh, I think it can happen, even though like the chances are slim. The chances of a plane and a guy hanging out on the wing and getting saved is also even more slim. So I don't know. Al, what do you think? Kelly has a nephew now.
No, I think at
she was
midnight,
induced.
like legit, I think the baby waited for its own birthday.
Yeah. Kelly's older sister had a baby.
Yes.
Kelly's older sister, our Kelly Schuberth, her older sister just had a baby at midnight this morning, and it's a baby.
I don't know if I can give away too many details,
sorry.
because I just don't know what they want to come out yet.
Okay, but congrats. Sorry.
Well, it's a 50-50 guess.
That's fair. It's a healthy baby.
Hey, that's blessings. See, my mom, when my mom was giving birth with me, my aunt, we had the same birthday, and she was like telling my mom, hold on another couple hours so we can have the same birthday. So now me and my aunt Katrina, we have the same birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
Love it.
And Kelly's a day before. Oh, day before. I guess midnight. She just missed the cutoff.
You have to wait. It's not for us to tell. Leo.
This is the person that doesn't have any kids, doesn't know how to handle these types of things. I was like ready to post my sister's baby pictures before she did. And she's like, can you please stop being annoying?
The mom wants to be able to post the first picture of the baby.
I'm like waiting around. She's sending them to the family group chat. I'm like, any day now. She's like, if you don't stop texting me, I'm gonna slap you.
But you're excited. I don't think that should be a bad thing.
It is.
That's a good thing.
And it's the first grandchild.
Wait, I was gonna say, she's your sister first?
All the way
And my
out
whole
here, just so
family's
you know.
first. My little brother. And
All that baby's gonna get spoiled.
I know.
Yeah, and I'll have to use the restroom at some point.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Well, Meghan McCain recently shared what it's like to be married to her very conservative husband. And she offered up some debatable dating advice. Take a look.
I'm deeply in love and he's the best decision I ever made, but he's the most conservative man I ever met. And it's way better. I tell women, conservative men have better family values and they take dating and family and marriage more seriously.
Oh, that makes me so mad. DBL Nation, do conservative men make better husbands? Take it away, Lindsay.
All right, MJ from Facebook says, I've been married for 32 years and I have to agree. Listen, I don't think that's her opinion. She's just sharing it. I don't think anything's wrong with that. If a conservative guy is fiscally conservative and helping you guys keep the household in order, like me, I'm very frivolous. And my man right now helps me keep everything in order. So I think that nothing's wrong with that statement if you agree.
But I thought you said you were fiscally conservative.
Yeah, but I'm still frivolous with my money.
Other people's money.
More extreme.
Still frivolous as well.
Yep.
All right, Galena from Facebook says, political ideals are just that, ideals. It always comes down to the individual. There are good and not so good men in both parties.
Thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that one. That's the Fifth Host comment of the day. Because you look at Roy Moore, Republican, conservative, sleazeball. You look at Newt Gingrich, had an affair back in the 90s. You look at Mark Sanford, the 115th governor of South Carolina, went missing for 4 days. This dude was in Argentina having an affair.
Oh.
The wife and kids had to move out of the governor's mansion. So I like what Galena says, how it goes down to an individual basis.
Thank you.
All right, hey, Ann from Facebook, you just had facts. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was
Keep
listening
going.
like,
Ann from Facebook says, oh, really? Is that why so many get caught cheating, paying for sex, or having a secret boyfriend? Doesn't matter the party. There are great men everywhere, just like there are bad ones. Annie, look at you with all this facts and knowledge. I love it. You're right. I mean, people, dependent of their political ideologies, they obviously will stray on either side. We have Mr. Bill Clinton to thank for that. And we can also talk about Rush Limbaugh, the famously conservative
was married
guy
like 6 times.
He's married 6 times.
So how do you talk about the sanctity of marriage if you've been married 6 times?
You don't. It's called talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yep. There's good and bad in every party. Well, HJ from Facebook says, I was raised conservative. I spent my entire childhood in the presence of conservative men. I disagree with her. You can't paint conservative men with a broad brush. Divorce among conservatives is just as high among liberals. That's exactly right. Thank you for writing in. This is what pisses me off. Not that she's saying conservative men are better. It's the fact that I don't like anybody painting any group of people with a broad brush. That's not fair, and it's
easy. That's what it is. It's annoying because it's so easy.
I think that people associate broad stroke, which we shouldn't do. Young people with liberals, like, oh, we'll get married later, we'll do this frivolously, and maybe she just like people who want to instill those.
That could backfire if you're not ready to get married. Because you're progressive or liberal and you want to like play the field, so to speak, then at least you're not going out on your marriage as opposed to someone. So I'm just arguing.
Right, who's like
somebody
the
that feels
original
like
church marriage, young.
Through like their mold that they grew up in, and that they would then get married because the church told them to, and then they go out on their marriage. I'm not saying that's the case here.
Right.
I just could argue either point.
Yeah.
So let's just be careful with painting people with broad brushes. Does that make sense, Al?
Yeah.
Groups with broad brushes?
Yes, okay.
All right. We do have some serious news. Miley Cyrus is asking for some good vibes from her hospital bed. Oh, no, Raquel, what's going on?
Well, Sam, right now, Miley's in the hospital for tonsillitis, but that hasn't stopped her from her social media game. She has been posting up a storm on Instagram, pictures from her hospital bed with her mom and with people coming to visit her with some gifts. And one of those is her current guy, Cody Simpson. He stopped by to serenade her with a song, and she called him her boyfriend in the post. Well, she hopes to get better in time for a music festival this weekend.
Thank you, Raquel.
Is there
Feel
anything
better,
lamer than a
Miley.
guy showing up with an acoustic guitar?
No, that's amazing.
Get out of here.
Thank you.
That dude on the beach is like, all right, you're trying to get a girl.
And he was
tired
to go get tested himself.
When are you going to read your poetry next year?
What? Okay.
Cornball.
All right, enough. Coming up on DBL. A powerful heart threads all about the bonds of friendship.
Dudes.
Discover how a boy and a school resource officer became best buddies when we come back.
We are live. What's going on, DBL Nation? Let's get to more of your comments for the fifth host. Let's see. Mel Wilcox says, Megan might want to study her father's history before making that statement. He was cheating on his first wife with Megan's mama. Ooh, Mel with the burn. Robin Ann, give me a break. There are angels and demons in both political parties. The conservatives are just much more hypocritical about their family values. Liz Gomez on Facebook says, blanket statements are never correct. David Hassard, Newt Gingrich, Donald Trump, Pat Meehan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mark Foley, Rudy Giuliani, Mark Sanford. Hey, I said Mark Sanford. I could go on, but I think my point is made. Yeah, I think she was on that Ben Shapiro show, podcast, whatever. I don't watch that guy. But obviously she's going to play into that base. You're going to play into that audience. And she's going to, obviously she's going to say that. Now, this is the same husband back in 2012 had a tweet. It was like a comment or a quote to a tweet when it was talking about dating Meghan McCain, sexy author or whatever. And he put, I do not want to, or something like that. So it's funny how now that they're married and now he's like this great husband. But whatever they got to do, that's their business. But thank you all for writing in. I got to go Harper.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about a special bond. Watch how a school resource officer went above and beyond when looking after one of his students. School resource officer and boy with special needs have become best friends. When Demetrius was filling in as a resource officer at an elementary school, Carter approached him and gave him a high five.
Once he gave me a high five, I think maybe 2 or 3 days later, every day he came in, he would give me a high five first thing in the morning.
The two quickly became best buds. Demetrius even invited Carter to be in his wedding. Carter will hold a sign that says, Officer Green, here comes your woman. It will be hard for Carter to share Demetrius with the future Miss Green, but his friend will still always be there for him.
Kids with special needs, they need someone, and for him to choose me that particular day outside of everyone else in the school, it meant a lot to me.
I'm inspired right now. High five for you. Yeah. High five for you. High five for you. Ooh. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Headlines, where all you news junkies out there can test your knowledge on today's current events. So I'm Raquel, this is Angelica, and I'm going to quiz her, and let's see if you can get the answer right before she does. Vinyl records are making a comeback. They are expected to sell more than what other form of recorded music? Is it tapes, MP3s, or CDs?
Vinyl?
Vinyl.
Music? Okay, that's easy. It has to be MP3s.
Right?
Raquel!
I'm sorry.
What's the answer?
So the answer is CDs for everyone at home. Digital Music News says vinyl is going to overtake CD sales for the first time since 1986.
People still buy CDs?
I'm going to give you one of the biggest headlines of the month, but I'm not going to tell it to you. I'm going to show it to you using some emojis. So take a look. What do you think it is?
Okay. Royal Flight, New York, Tennis Open, clap, clap, clap.
If you don't get this, you've been living under a rock. You get one more guess. Everyone at home is probably screaming at you right now.
Royal Tennis. Serena?
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you can never show your face in London because Meghan Markle took a royal flight. Yes.
Since when? Oh, my God.
Meghan Markle took a royal flight out to visit her friend Serena at the tennis U.S. Open. Next up, I'll give you 3 clues, and you have to guess which celebrity we blurred out right here on screen. All right. This actor says it's time for a woman to play James Bond.
Raquel, I've never seen James Bond. I know you guys are going to be so mad at me.
All right, second clue then. He, too, is familiar with the life of a secret 007
James
agent.
Bond!
Yes, but which James Bond?
007?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you the final clue.
Okay.
And you at home will be screaming. He has piercing blue eyes. Piercing.
Liam?
You at home have probably already won because the answer is Pierce Brosnan.
Who is that?
Wow, no friends with the royal or any secret agents anytime soon.
All right, clearly I need to brush up on my headlines.
He told The Hollywood Reporter it's time for a woman to take over the role.
Okay.
He famously had it in the 90s. Everyone at home remembers. Thank you very much. Well, that's it for headlines. Let's see if one day Angelica can get an answer right.
Welcome back to DBL, my favorite story of the week. Over the past 7 days, the Katmai National Park has been holding Fat Bear Week.
That's fat shaming.
No, listen, Al, no, because it helps them hibernate. 12 fierce competitors entered a tournament-style bracket, and one came out on top. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner is bear number 435, a.k.a. Holly.
Wow.
So you can see the dramatic transformation. So on the left is Holly in July. Then she had to fatten herself up for hibernation. This is her current weight. Yep, and the park wrote she's fat, she's fabulous, and her healthy heft will help her hibernate until spring. Good for her.
See, I'm gonna do the same thing. Winter's coming. Time to fatten up.
Everybody gets bigger over the
Some
winter.
baked potatoes in our life.
Oh, I love it. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Mm-hmm.